welcome. My name is Rachel.
My name's Brandon.
And I'm Ashley, and we're Chat Rollette, where we roll in the chat.
Every week we talk about episodes, and we're doing a rolling table of topics.
And today it's advice again. Here we go, advice time. Was there something wrong that I said? No, you just said
I think you said where we roll in the chat is what it sounded like to me.
Chat.
And that's why I was like, yeah, kinda.
We're rolling along.
We do be rolling in the chat.
Yeah, you also just said it so dejectedly.
Are we rolling in chat?
She's very tired.
I'm so tired.
We lost an hour of sleep
Which is
last
so
night.
fucking dumb.
No, I love it.
Okay, can I say something?
Why do you...
Is anyone prepared to hear something that might
I love
harm
that
them?
Ben Franklin decided to just joke to like the U.S. government to make us follow this, and
Is it
stuck.
Ben Franklin's idea?
Yes.
Sure.
Jesus Christ.
Hey Siri,
I just
who
appreciate the sun.
invented daylight savings?
I do appreciate the sun.
Yeah.
Are we getting more sun now?
Yes. Like even yesterday when
It was first wait.
It was first concealed.
Even yesterday when we were leaving D&D, it was sunny out because the time has shifted a little bit every day since whatever the day was.
Whoa.
And so we were just like, oh, so nice.
People contributed the idea of daylight savings included George Hudson, William Willett, and Benjamin Franklin.
Fuck me. Benji. Why?
He wanted to submit his place in a $100 bill.
He said it was
So
good
fair.
for the economy.
At the time, correct.
You know what? Congress was supposed to vote about daylight savings and do away with it.
They did like 2 years ago.
They did 2 years ago, and then it never went fully through.
Yeah.
It got through like one of the houses or something.
I think it went through Congress.
I would think it went through the House and then hasn't gone through the Senate. And then, are you prepared to hear something that may hurt you? Okay, so then recently I saw a video of current president Cheeto Puff Mussolini, and he was being asked, "So what are you gonna do about daylight savings?" He was like, "Well, it's a 50-50 issue." It's not. It's not a 50-50 issue. It's annoying. And he's like, well, for 50-50 issues, it's not that big of a deal.
He has to ask his boss what to do.
He has to ask
Elon.
that muskrat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
That muskrat is really funny.
I've taken that since Brandon said it. Thank you.
Elongated muskrat is his full name.
Ah.
Yeah. Have I said that in front of my boss?
Hope
A
so.
little bit, yeah. Not the first part, mostly the muskrat.
I could say pretty much anything I feel about politics in front of my boss, and she would be fine with it.
Same.
Also,
Because she smokes weed, and
hey, way to out her.
she smokes weed.
That's true. It is legal in Arizona. Never mind.
I don't even know
I
if they
was
knew where
gonna-
she was.
I was going to
Now
add
they
another
do.
thing, but
Oof, I
I'm
just
not,
outed her more.
I was going to add another thing, but I'm not going to say that on the podcast.
But,
But she does smoke weed, and she's with it.
Hey, my boss said they're Marxist, so I support that.
Sure.
Hell yeah. Anyway,
I know a person, I'm not going to say who. I know a person who is married to a person in the Communist Party.
comrades.
Comrade.
Anyway, so that's our little intro. It's been kind of a wild and crazy few days. But what hasn't in 2025?
My week was normal.
I know, I'm just saying like in the world.
Yeah, no, we're in unprecedented times yet again. So
When are we going to get precedented times?
we won't.
Exactly.
From now
And
on,
that's-
we are unprecedented.
But here's the thing. I feel like as the almost millennial and you millennial, we've been living in unprecedented times the entire time.
Since birth.
And it's very annoying.
Yeah.
I'd like to live in a precedented time.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway, that's all I'll say about that.
would you like some advice about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Put
What's
in the
your
com-
How to live
Oh,
in
I
a
would-
precedented
I'm not
time.
giving it. Put it in the comments.
Yeah, what's your advice? What's your coping mechanism
Yeah.
for the unprecedented times? Mine's been D&D. It's been really nice, but now we're at daylight savings and I get to play D&D less, which is not my favorite idea.
Because time zones.
Because time zones, and we have people who don't do daylight savings because they live in Arizona and they're based and they're like, fuck that. And and
we
then we have everybody else who, like, we've got a couple in Central, we've got quite a few on East Coast, and I'm like, we started at 8 p.m. before, and now we're starting at 9 p.m. and we always have a cutoff of like 11 p.m. Eastern because it's at that point it's getting late. So we've effectively shortened it by a whole fucking hour, and I'm very sad about it. More D&D, not less.
How do you feel that we both, all three of us, both of us, all came from states that didn't do daylight savings time for a long time?
It was such a gift.
Wait, Indiana
and now I
didn't-
hate life.
For most of
Indiana
my life,
Indiana did
but
but now
not
it
do.
does.
When did it
I think I
start
was in
doing it?
college when it stopped.
Because
Yeah.
when I was there, it was like, okay,
Oh,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
adjust.
It's been like
Also,
over a decade since they had.
Also,
it.
Indiana's weird because it's in both Central and Eastern Standard Time too.
Sure is.
Which is fucking
The
stupid.
time zone goes woo.
It wibbledy wobbles.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Wobbledy wobbledy wobble.
yeah. So I don't like the idea of daylight savings time. Just let it be the time.
Yeah, I agree. I think what it is right now is how it should be all the time.
I kind of.
It's okay to be wrong.
I want it to be ye olden times where it's like, what time do we do things? When the sun sets.
Yeah.
When the rooster crows.
And I want the sun
when
to
the
set
wind blows northwest.
after 8 p.m.
Sure. Here's
Because sometimes the sun sets at 5 o'clock.
I think
Yes, it does.
selfishly, I want it to be what it was before,
Wrong.
purely because of D&D, but for every other reason, it should be this time.
Now hear me out.
Yeah.
We get rid of daylight savings time, and then Arizona goes back an hour to be on equilibrium.
Oh, are they on Mountain Time?
They're
they would probably
currently,
be-
they're on PST right now.
Yeah.
Right, but PST is California, so
Yeah.
they would be
Correct.
worse.
They would switch to mountain time. They
What if the
flip-flop back and
concession is that
forth.
you get another hour of D&D is what I'm trying to say.
If the concession is I get another hour of D&D, I'll do whatever it takes.
You're welcome.
So you wanted to go to MST.
And what time is it in Colorado right now? Hey,
They're
Siri.
2 hours behind us, aren't
They're
they?
2
What
hours.
time is it in Colorado?
behind?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that what
you
I
said
said?
ahead.
Well,
Yes, they're 2 hours. So yeah, if they got the same time zone as I'm getting confused because it's different in different time zones and different states.
wow, how that works.
I know.
It's also really rude that we're like,
It's very annoying.
growing up in Indiana, we were on the western edge of the eastern time zone.
Yeah, and that's such a difference.
Yes.
It's such a difference. Like, oh,
If you're
we're
in New York
here.
City
We're here in the eastern.
versus-
We're like smack dab right here where we are
Yeah.
right now. In Indiana, oh my god, it felt like fucking darkness.
all the time.
Dark and dreary and gross. But if you had gone maybe a few miles away, oh,
Imagine living in
different
like
time.
Maine.
Right?
They're like, yeah,
Crazy.
we are
I have a
eastern.
coworker who lives in Maine.
How fun.
Yeah.
It's a great place to live.
Anyway,
They
that's our
often go eat lobster, and I'm like, wish that were me.
They got a food truck. You can go.
It's so expensive.
It is.
You spend like $50 for a roll.
Yeah, you do.
I want like a crab though. I'm a crab kind of girl.
The whole crowd.
Yep,
Yeah.
like that. Bourbon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're not a seafood.
Not
kind of
really. Like
person.
there's some that
Would
live in
you
that
have
category.
A lobster?
I've had it before.
Do you like any crustaceans?
They're fine.
Scrimps?
Scrimp is okay.
Okay.
Depending, yeah.
Okay.
I've eaten multiple preparations of it, and it's fine.
Yeah, you're like, okay, that's food.
Yeah,
Like
same
if
thing
it was
with like,
given to you wouldn't scoff.
yeah, same thing with like various fish.
But you're looking for a buffalo chicken dip if that's
Always.
available.
Always. But like when we go to South Carolina, well, we're not gonna do that anymore. But when we did, because we had family there, we would always go out for seafood because you're right on the water and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
then let's just go to South Carolina.
I don't want to anymore. It's kind of
We could go to North Carolina. We can go to Maryland.
that's fine.
Yeah, it's not
Um,
far.
But yeah, they have the cool little shrimp that's not just shrimp.
Scrimp.
It's got like the good seasonings and the flavors and the stuff. It's give me that good Creole, you know.
Yeah. Oh my god, a
Yeah.
Creole seasoning.
That's why I wanted to go to
I
Orleans
keep getting
for their D&D reunion trip. Because I've never been.
I did it.
And I really want some good New Orleans cuisine.
Yeah, but the thing was so we're planning a reunion trip. If you're
I'm
if you're
just
part of
gonna
that
have to go visit New Orleans one day.
No, absolutely, and I'm so down for that because I also want delicious New Orleans food. If you're part of the D&D group on Tuesdays and you're listening to this, hey guys, what's up?
Hi.
Sorry I'm complaining about daylight savings. I'm just really sad about it because I want to play D&D more. But the reason it couldn't have been New Orleans, Ashley, is that Kayla, my friend, and I looked, and it was like there's nothing available that will house the amount of people that we had, and also it was really expensive
Fair.
and like far from the airport.
Totally.
Whereas
fair.
like we're going to Denver. Denver had so many affordable options. And yes, most of the places are about a half hour from the airport. But the airport's just not near anything.
Yeah.
So if you just take that into account, it's
Now,
fine.
speaking of vacations, I had the best dream.
Quick.
TLDR. I went on an Icelandic cruise.
Whoa.
Although on the map it was not Iceland. But I went to Iceland on a cruise that was pulled by a whale
Oh.
that could talk.
Whoa.
It was great.
What did it talk
The whale
about?
was so nice.
Was
I
it
don't
like
know.
a tour
I
guide?
didn't talk to the whale. I just know that it talked.
Oh.
And I had like the biggest cruise suite. I like could take a bath. I had such great food. And I went and visited the Icelandic people, and it was wonderful.
Huh.
We should go
Nice.
to Iceland. And
That's
then I
fun.
went home, and then I hated life. I was like, well, I don't want to be back here.
Wow.
And I was like, can we go back?
Speaking of hating life, we have some advice to parse
give.
out to people.
Yeah.
To pod.
Because the
rolling.
people hate their lives.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Who's
Oh,
doing
it's me.
It's you.
I was like, it's 2.
I got
Bring-
2 because we often bring too many, and I only brought 2.
I
brought
have
2.
Incredible.
I have 3, but honestly, the second one doesn't look as fun, so I might just do.
Axe it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's
me.
gone.
That's me axing it.
Mhm. Oh, I knew.
I didn't read it that well either. It was super late at night when I found these guys.
Oh.
Okay, you guys get to pick.
I just got a notification of you guys arriving at my door. I was like, no,
That's
you.
funny.
And now I'm like, skinwalkers?
Oh my god!
Okay.
Don't speak that into existence.
It'd be kind of fun.
No.
Do you have that idea? Do you ever have that thought where, like, sorry, Ashley's keep pulling up. I'm gonna just talk to
It's
Brandon
here.
really quick. Oh, you're ready.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, do you ever have that thought where there's like supernatural beings that exist only if you manifest them in your mind?
Yes, that is a thing actually.
Like if you think about them, they exist more.
No, I never experienced that.
Yeah, I've never experienced it either, but I think about it.
No, that's what I'm
sometimes.
saying. I don't think about it.
Good.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you don't have ghosts.
Hope so.
Except
I
for
don't mind ghosts.
There's a term for this.
Especially old lady ghosts.
I don't know. I don't know what the term is. It's okay, Ashley. You don't have to look it up. Let's do advice now.
I know what it's called. I can't find the term for it, but like there are things that exist simply because of the idea.
It's
That's
called
okay.
The Secret.
TM.
Okay. I have a long one and I have a short one.
Let's start with the short.
Do you want the titles?
Yeah.
Okay, a short one. Well, both of them have updates too, which is fun. The shorter of the two is just found out my daughter has been impersonating me for school. Need advice.
Been there.
And then the second one is my 28 male husband, 27 male, just came out as straight.
I saw that one.
Oh.
That one sounds sad.
I don't want to. Yeah, let's start with something lighter.
Okay.
The other one.
Hi everyone. Okay, so this is just found out my daughter has been impersonating me for school. Need advice. This is from r/advice.
Like the parent?
Yeah, this is a
Probably.
parent.
Whoa.
If
From
it's their daughter.
AdDirect8. This is from
It sure
user
is that, huh?
AdDirect8282. This is 32 days ago on r/advice. There is an update, which we'll share here in a bit. Hi everyone! I just found out my 17-year-old daughter has been secretly using my school account to message her teachers, excuse absences, and even avoid tests.
Oh my god.
Our school uses an online platform for communication, and she somehow got access to my login. My husband and I have never gave her permission to use it, though, to be fair, we rarely check the account ourselves because of work.
That's classic from parents.
Yeah.
Turns out she's been managing all school-related communication by pretending to be me. To make things worse, I also found out that she's been sneaking into her school at night, telling the janitor she forgot her homework, and then looking through teachers' desks to find test papers and take photos of them. Right now, I'm feeling a mix of anger, disappointment, and concern. I don't want to overreact, but I also don't want her to think this is something she can get away with. How do I handle this in a way that actually teaches her a lesson? Have any of you dealt with something similar?
Number 1, change your fucking passwords.
You got to kill your daughter.
That's the wrong answer only.
Oh, different podcast.
Yeah. Wrong, wait, do you want the wrong answers only really quick?
Sure.
Okay. First, kill your daughter.
Yeah.
That's the first wrong answer.
Unalive your daughter. Okay.
Second wrong answer. Join her on her little jaunts to the school at night.
Yeah. Sounds fun.
Crime.
Crime.
You ever been in school after hours?
Put her in jail.
After hours.
Put your daughter in jail.
That's
Scared
fun.
straight.
Lock her to the teacher's desk.
Ooh, yeah. That's when you sneak in behind her.
Lock
like
her in the school.
Mhm.
Let her starve.
That's how you kill her.
Big mistake. Don't lock her in the cafeteria. There's food there.
Just lock her in a classroom.
Yeah, then she has to eat the erasers.
Ew.
Hey,
It's kind
I
I'll
never
take a
said
try.
it was fun.
So the OP is actually fairly communicative. I'll read kind of the first couple comments. Somebody says, "Did she get expelled, junior or senior?" No, she didn't. The school doesn't know. Only her best friend knows, and she doesn't go to that school.
Well-
She's a senior in high school.
Well, clearly the janitor knows. The school doesn't know. The janitor does.
Yeah. Well, the janitor knows that she's been going in to get her quote unquote homework. But
Weird.
somebody said, "How did you find out all about this?" I'm asking so I can answer how I would handle it gathering information. Her best friend joked about it to me because she thought it was funny. That's not good at all, blah, 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 blah. And she said, yeah, she has been accepted to a good university for business. I'm not sure how long she's been doing this for, but it seems recent. She's been mostly dismissive and downplaying it and saying how I have nothing to worry about.
Well,
This is
okay.
what somebody else gave it as advice. I'm 56 and very old school, so in this case, I would 1, ground her for the rest of the year, including missing prom until June. No friends
That's
can
not
come
gonna
over,
work.
and no going out, no exceptions. 2, I would make her spend her time studying. 3, she would volunteer at a homeless shelter, food pantry, or soup kitchen for no
Okay.
less than 4 hours a week. Why there? Because they need the help. It's showing compassion, and it's not fun.
So
First of all, it is fun.
Yeah, it can be fun, really. Helping
yeah,
out.
I think I
I've done
don't
some volunteer work.
Yeah.
I don't dislike the volunteer work idea. However, the first part of like ground her for the rest of the year, that's just not gonna work. Like that's just not
Yeah.
gonna work. If she's sneaky enough to sneak into the school under your noses to figure out your passwords to your accounts and then log in as you have to be just as savvy with her as she is with you. And she's gonna get access to technology. So like, if you're gonna ground her and say no technology, no this, no way. That's just not gonna work. She's gonna borrow a friend's phone. She's gonna sneak one, around or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So that's not gonna work.
the commenter also says some other things. It's just like, oh, she needs to get a job and she needs to retake the test. But like, the LP says that she has
That's not how school works.
the kid has a
unfortunately.
job already, and she's like, it just seems like
Yeah, I think this is I think this is an Abria Iyengar consequences dungeon master kind of moment.
Yeah.
You fucked around. It's time to find out. I'm telling your teachers exactly what's happening. And you're gonna have to face the consequences.
Well, here's the update. After reading through the comments, my husband sat down with our daughter to talk, and we decided to take her phone and her car. She didn't seem to care at all. Instead, she
Right.
got upset,
Doesn't
not
work.
about the consequences, but about us suddenly wanting to be, quote, so involved in her life.
Yeah.
During the conversation, she told us she's been struggling all throughout high school, which was honestly surprising to hear. She also admitted that she had secretly went to the doctor last year and got ADHD medication on her own,
Oh my god.
which I don't even understand how she managed. She had no idea. We had no idea she had ADHD, and honestly, we don't think she should be taking those medications at all. When we told her that, she got even angrier, insisting that that it helps her and that we wouldn't understand. She also said that the school had tried reaching out to us in 9th and 10th grade about her struggles, but when she realized we weren't responding, she started using her account to handle everything herself. She admitted that she used her account not just to excuse absences, but also to get out of class and tests when she hadn't studied properly. She said she wasn't trying to, quote, get ahead, but just trying to survive, which I find hard to believe given the extent of what she did.
Yeah.
She also claimed that a lot of students at her school cheat and that she only took the test because she had to. When she asked why she didn't just ask for help, she said that she didn't think we'd care or that we'd actually do anything. That really hurt to hear, considering we've always made sure she had everything she needed, a good school, tutors if necessary, and the freedom to come to us if she had a problem. She told us that we could take all her fucking shit because nothing we take away actually matters to her. She's been cold and distant ever since, barely speaking to us. She also made a comment about how everyone at her private school is working towards prestigious degrees and that she'll never be smart or capable enough to do the same. It's frustrating because she's always been bright. She doesn't just doesn't put in the effort. When we tried to explain what she did was wrong, she dismissed it, saying she didn't actually harm anyone and told us to piss off. Didn't even know what to think anymore. I've always believed we raised her to be responsible and hardworking, but I don't know where this attitude is coming from. I feel hurt, like she doesn't appreciate everything we've done for her. My husband hasn't said much other than she's acting spoiled and entitled, and honestly, I have to agree. I don't know what to do with her. There are a lot of comments. This is a very controversial post.
Yeah.
A lot of contradictions happening in this story as well.
Yeah. The parents seem to have like inconsistent like rulings about this whole situation.
They're always around and available with help, but they didn't know that anything was going on.
And that she might have ADHD.
A kid can't just go to the doctor.
No.
Like, well, I don't know if this is in America or not. If
Still.
it is in the
Doesn't
US,
matter.
yeah,
Doesn't matter if it's America or not.
medical records still go to parents. Like,
And it's
how would you
also-
not get that
You
notification?
can't get an official diagnosis
Yeah.
Right. It's
without
like
testing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can't just
how
go do
old
that.
is this post?
30 days.
32 days.
32
old.
days? Damn.
This was posted 20 days ago.
Well, and also they did the exact thing that parents in this day and age do, which is take away the things. Take away the privileges. Which I get like, oh yeah, take away the rewards, but she doesn't view those as rewards. Like I think to some degree she kind of needs to have just the consequences of her actions in front of her.
Yeah.
Like she
I'm
has
surprised
this
they
thing-
haven't told the school.
Right. Like the fact of the matter is that she cheated on tests and there are consequences to that. Like if she's going to college, there are and would be consequences for that in college.
Yeah, that'd be a massive academic integrity violation.
Right, exactly. And maybe that will change her mind about well, that didn't hurt anybody, because the fact of the matter is that when somebody cheats, it does to some degree hurt other students. To some degree. Is it direct hurting people? No. But there is a little bit of hurt because it's not showing the teacher who's actually learned things, right?
Right.
And
And a lot of teachers, especially in America, have to go off the data.
right.
If everyone's doing well, okay, well, I'm doing a pretty fucking good job.
Right. And then then you just keep the status quo and then you don't
Yeah.
change things. So this girl seems short-sighted, but she's a teen. So to expect her to be
To expect her to have that
wise one
forethought, I think, is a lot.
it is unreasonable.
Like a senior high school might have some of that, but not
and I
always.
think all of her feelings about oh, my parents aren't involved are valid, but it's so interesting, like you said, that okay, we're so involved and we would provide everything you need. It sounds like the parents just were well, you fucked up, instead of actually listening and being oh, okay,
Yeah.
we maybe should change some of what we're doing too.
I don't believe teachers keep tests in their desks anymore.
Yeah, I think that's also kind of wild. Come on.
I mean, I might have a grading key every once in a while, but I was an elementary school teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's come on.
Students couldn't access my desk.
I just think the post is a lie.
It's possible this post is a lie.
It's a really controversial post. the comments are even harsher than we are, honestly.
It just seems weird.
You
Like,
as parents dropped the ball here. Your poor daughter is just trying to survive on her own. She was being responsible. She went to the doctor. You couldn't even bother to follow up on the ADHD. See someone to help you be a parent, which like I think is fairly harsh. And the OP does respond.
no, it isn't harsh because the fact of the matter is that like they're like you didn't even follow up with the doctor. They didn't even know she went.
Look, I'm just gonna say that the internet can be.
It just doesn't make sense.
Which doesn't make sense.
I
because
think
if she was a
the
peds
internet.
doc-
There's even more than that with other comments, and that combined, I think, just makes it really harsh. Because I think a lot of people can be really harsh on parents because a lot of different people have very differing views on parenthood. And that's why I think it's harsh. That singular comment alone isn't the end of the world.
No, and I'm not saying I'm
yeah.
not saying that they're bad parents or anything because I think
they've definitely taken quite a bit of a backseat.
It sounds
that
like
I could say that.
it sounds like it, but I like it's a different thing to say. Like this is a moment in time, and I don't like I said with Brandon. Like it seems like they're being inconsistent.
Yeah,
which is the hardest part.
Yeah,
like it sounds like they kind of went in without much of a plan beyond let's remove the car, let's remove the phone.
Yeah.
And didn't actually like think to have a conversation because this is a teenager about to be maybe an adult at 18. So it's just very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. It's very possible this is fake.
True. Anyways,
Too much going on.
Any other thoughts, Brandon?
Change your password.
Change your yeah. Seriously, we live
That's
in
it.
2025, and
or dual authentication.
Check your be online more for your kids. Check their grades.
If that's anything that I could have advice for. I'm not a parent. I want to make that very clear. I don't want to ever give parenting advice.
I do.
Unless it's like egregious and I'm gonna be like, look, what the fuck is going on here? But the one thing you have to fucking know is how to use goddamn technology and like being able to monitor your child's usage and also be like
and
secure.
help teach responsibility with that.
Not responsibility. Also be secure on your own.
Also that, but like
the number of times I had parents or whomever reach out to me saying, "Why is my student doing poorly?" And I had to respond with, "Wow, here's all their missing work that you can log in and see.
Yeah.
That you had to sit through. It wasn't a fun thing. They had to sit through a convocation to show them
how to
access, how to log in, sign off on it at the end of the year or at the end of the session." And then they'd be like, "I just didn't know they weren't doing well." I'm like, "Well, that's because you didn't log on and check your student's work."
Jesus Christ.
And I will reach out to you at a certain point when the student has done X, Y, Z, but like, you can get in there.
That's so frustrating.
I used to impersonate my dad all the time.
Oh, you
That's
sort of like put on your dad?
Yeah, he worked there. And so I'd just be like, "Hey, my dad needs this." And then I tell my dad and be like, "Yeah, whatever."
T.
Yeah.
But
and I'm fine with like every once in a while where my mom's like, "Yeah, can you just sign it for me? Like you have permission to go do this field trip or whatever."
Yeah,
or
like that's fine. But it's no one else gets access to my account. I don't really care. The only reason I would give you all access is if I died.
Which would be hard to do after you died.
Right.
It would
but
be.
like I have Ashley knows some of my passwords.
Me too.
Whoa. I do know your Wi-Fi passwords.
Well, yeah. I know some login passwords.
Yeah, some login passwords. So like you could probably make some educated guesses about some of them, but some of them are not the ones that I've given you, and so there would be
even then I feel like
moments.
For example, your Discord account. I feel like I would be really uncomfortable like going through that. I would just like log in and delete everything. Or archive it so that way like my conversations on my Discord account with you wouldn't go away, but like I wouldn't want to like deep dive into your DMs.
I wouldn't want to deep dive either, but if I died, I would want someone to go through and be like, to the people I've messaged in the past month, quick message, "Hey, unfortunately this person has passed, they will not be responding or continuing this conversation, bye." But like to my DMs.
I want it to be a mystery.
That's kind of fun though.
Yeah, let them come find me.
Tea.
See what's up.
See what's up.
That'd be kind of fun.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
that's my take there. But yeah, like be secure with your shit.
Yeah.
Dual authentication is a big thing.
Yeah,
nowadays.
that's my favorite is dual authentication, where you have to like fight to get your password.
Oh my god, yeah.
My Discord account.
You
Yeah.
duel to the
I
death
fucking hate it.
with a rapier.
I
You
hate.
have to
Rapier.
fence. You have to fence.
Yeah.
That's fun. A foil. Okay.
Epee.
I had to sign back into my Discord account the other day, and I was so annoyed. They're like,
I-
"What's the backup code?" And I'm like, "I don't even know where to find the backup code, my guy.
I wouldn't even know how to do it.
I like need to reconfigure my multi-authentication because it's so annoying."
That's why I have the I'll talk to you later about it.
Nah, I know what you're
I
I
talking
don't
even
need
about.
to
I-
talk about it.
I
Anyway,
just hope I never get logged out.
Man, you
Me.
really live by the edge, don't you?
Sure do. Love the
I-
edge.
meanwhile, every time I log into like FAFSA or like an equivalent like loan service platform, I've had to change the password so many times
Oh,
that I can't use my regular passwords. So I made it a custom password that I'll
Remembering.
describe later.
you're playing the password game.
Yeah, truly. it
Yeah,
was
you got to take
crazy.
care of the egg.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anyway,
that's
it's
my
time.
story. Should I roll odds evens?
Okay.
Odds.
I didn't know who I was.
What are your odds?
Well, your odds.
Now I know.
Now we're knowers.
What stories you got? Are we picking, or are you just gonna pick for us?
I'm gonna read it.
Well, yeah.
This one is from user L2PC89 16 days ago.
What's the title? Where's it from?
I think that my 25 male wife, 23 female, thinks that I murdered her ex.
Excuse me.
So wait, the wife thinks that
So the-
he.
Yeah.
He thinks that she thinks he killed her ex.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
They haven't had a conversation about it. That's
No,
funny.
that'd be too easy. They
That's
wouldn't be
too
posting
easy. You're right,
if they
you're
had a
right, you're right.
conversation.
Wrong answers only at the beginning.
About a month ago, while out shopping, my wife and I ran into her high school boyfriend and his mom on the street.
Okay.
It was a slightly awkward encounter. His mom made a comment about how good they looked standing next to each other like it was meant to be. We said we were in a bit of a hurry, and as we were walking away, he said something along the lines of, "Hey, we should grab coffee sometime." I didn't think too much of it at the moment. Sure, his mom was awkward, but they'd been broken up for about 7 years, and I do think he meant it just to be friendly. But still, we had a quick check-in after, and we both agreed it was awkward, and that I wasn't too upset, and that I wouldn't even necessarily mind them meeting for coffee, provided that it became clear he still had feelings for her or was making advances, she'd cut him out.
Okay.
She wasn't even sure she'd make or want to take him up on it, so it was purely hypothetical.
Okay.
That evening, I met up with some friends for drinks and was home at 1 a.m.
Mhm.
The next morning, my wife got a message from her friend that her ex died that night.
Oh my god.
We got a few more details over the next couple of days, but it seemed he suffered from epilepsy and that night in a freak accident, had a seizure, fell, and fatally hit his head.
Oh my
Oof.
god.
As far as I know, there's no foul play suspected or criminal investigation or anything like that.
Yeah, it seems like an accident.
In the weeks since, she started acting really strange. She has been abnormally... Oh, I clicked away. She has been abnormally sad that he died, but more like cautious and fearful around me. She hasn't made any kind of direct accusation, but had been asking me a lot of questions about where I went drinking with my friends, who I was with, what time each person arrived and left, etc. She's lately mentioned that she wanted to spend some time with a friend to catch up for about a week. I don't know how to address this. It feels crazy to have to ask her whether she thinks I murdered him, or to have to tell her that I didn't. I'm afraid to even bring it up, and whether that would just feed into whatever she seems to be going through. Any thoughts on how to deal with this? And for the record, I didn't murder her ex.
Okay. I have the wrong answer.
Okay.
Break into the police precinct
Mhm.
where they have all
Find the
evi-
police record.
Find the police record and any evidence. Like say there's a t-shirt.
Mhm.
And then you take it, you bring it to your ex, and you say, or you bring it to your girlfriend and say, "Look, it's their t-shirt. I didn't have this before, therefore it couldn't be me."
Yeah, it definitely wouldn't look bad.
Don't
holding
incriminate
the
yourself.
t-shirt.
I have two suggestions.
Yeah.
One, kill another ex.
Yeah,
That's
there you
exact-
go.
Kill
Say-
the friend
say
that
this
she wants
is-
to meet up with.
Kill a different ex.
Box
Say-
him out.
And then be like,
Uh.
seems like it's you, actually.
That's funny.
Gaslight.
Yeah. And then the other option was for him to kill himself. And then there's a murder investigation on her. And still she get framed and has to deal with this all the time.
That's
Write a ransom note saying it was the W.
Exactly.
W.
Yeah. And then you just ... with blood smear. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the wrong answers.
He was the real answer is just, hey babe, why are you acting so suspicious around me? Like, I want to clear this out at the table, make sure that we're still on the same page.
Also,
like, it's so easy to just have an open conversation, my guy.
Also, like, you were out drinking with friends. Just grab the receipts or your friends and be like, this is who I was with. They can prove I was there.
Yeah. If you
with
paid
Roger.
with a card,
yeah,
there's bank receipts, bestie.
Right?
Find my iPhone.
Period. Oh, that would maybe make you feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds
Be like,
she
hey,
just
I'm
needs
going to share my
reassurance.
location. I'm off to go drink with the boys again. Goodbye.
People keep dying. Imagine.
Oh, people are crazy.
Yeah, the comments agree. They were like, it doesn't really matter whether you did it or not. They're like, what you need to talk about is why her demeanor has changed.
Is there an update?
Yeah.
No.
That's tea. That's pretty straightforward, though.
It was only 2 weeks ago.
Show the receipts.
Yeah.
That's pretty easy.
I don't think it's crazy.
Yeah, it's not crazy.
I've never killed an ex. So.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I've never had an ex.
I have.
So
There you go. Which one?
The one I've only had one date with.
The police rush in.
Police.
We got her.
We got her. That's crazy because I don't really have exes.
No, I know, but
that's the
you
funny
killed a
thing.
man.
I killed a man.
It's the straightest thing you can do.
I'm for legal reasons. That was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke. It very much is a joke. Anyway.
A yoke.
I think I'm gonna do. What do you want? Do you want? My wife gave me a really expensive birthday gift I don't want. We're on a shoestring budget and the gift can't be returned. Or my daughter's principal made her cry and banned my wife from campus for asking for an apology.
I read that one.
I read the title of that one and was interested, but
Have you read that one fully?
Yeah, but
Okay.
go ahead. It's fine.
Which one do you want?
yeah, do the principal one. We'll
The
do
principal one? Okay.
next one last.
Okay. My daughter's principal made her cry and banned my wife from campus for asking for an apology. My daughter, 13, asked her art teacher if she could be her assistant during summer school. Her teacher thought it would be great, but told her it would be up to the principal. My daughter wrote out an email and had her teacher proofread it and got the okay to send it off. She came home really excited about it and read my wife and I the email. Sorry. I was like, read her filled.
Read her.
We were both impressed by how professional and courteous she had been. Later that night, the principal emailed her back at 10 p.m.
What the fuck?
In the email, she said that my daughter was inconsiderate and presumptuous, crossing the line of disrespect because she had emailed her as though they were friends and not as though she was a student addressing her superior.
What the fuck?
She would not consider her request and instead would require a second email to apologize to her for the disrespect. My wife and I were absolutely floored. Our daughter came home to our room in tears because she thought the email was going to be good news instead she was raked over the coals. The email that our daughter sent was incredibly respectful and had been proofread by a teacher. As angry as what my wife and I were, we decided to keep our calm and try and be reasonable. While I was at work, my wife went to the school to talk with the principal the next day. She called me immediately afterwards in a fit because she had been thrown out of the school. The principal then sent an email to my wife with the account of events, quote unquote, saying it was also being sent to the school attorney.
Excuse me?
The account was filled to the brim with lies. She said that my wife burst into her office and was yelling at her and clapping her hands in her face and wouldn't let her get any words in as she yelled over her. My wife is a very meek and respectful person. She did not get angry and by the end of the conversation she said that she did raise her voice, but only after the principal had. The larger issue in all of this is that this is a charter school that is not under the Board of Education and the principal is also the superintendent.
Oh my god.
My wife and I simply wanted an explanation of that, of why that time of night And why that level of harshness to a student who was only trying to reach out to do more? Now we are in an uncomfortable situation and we have no interest in being in. How do we proceed?
Oh my god.
You want to know the most unbelievable part of this?
Huh.
The principal emailing back.
Right?
Right?
The admin doing work
Yeah.
at 10 p.m.
Also,
Well,
why
that
are
part
you emailing a
is true.
student at 10 p.m.?
Well,
Yeah.
not the
Principals
10 p.m.
only do work after hours,
Well, that's fine.
but they don't never do it the same day.
Right, but also the principal emailing.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially because it's so quick.
Exactly.
But
yeah,
also-
like maybe a day or two later.
Also,
but like,
the student is 13 years old.
Mhm.
Like, if her parents and the teacher approved it as a fairly professional email and her parents are impressed, why are you lambasting a 13-year-old about how to draft an email?
Yeah,
ego.
very much. This
I'm-
is giving go.
I'm floored by this. This is insane. My advice, lawyer up.
Yeah.
That's what the comments
Sucks that
said.
you have to, but it sounds like you're gonna have to if they're threatening the school attorney.
Yeah, the top comment, it has 1,700 upvotes. Says the school still has governing bodies. Find those entities and file complaints. Keep everything documented in a timeline.
Ooh, yeah.
There is an authority over the school. Find them and let them know. OP responded a little ways down and said, I was told by someone that the board only really handles financials. It doesn't deal much with the day-to-day operations and has little authority over the superintendent. This
That's a lie.
person isn't really an authority on this topic, and that's why I reached out to her to see if there was other perspective and info to be shared. Thank you for your response.
Contact the state of education.
They're a charter
It's
school.
charter school.
Well,
I mean, things might be different in charter schools as far as like boards and stuff go, but like the
but like
board is
charter
in
schools
charge.
don't
Okay.
they have to meet certain standards? I'm sorry.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
But like with the board of education and like that, like they are responsible for like signing the new superintendent and deciding on that and
Mm.
making that go to the head and like holding those things as head. But it could be different in a charter school.
Okay, so there's another comment from OP. It says, from what I could tell, their only authority is their quote-unquote sponsor, and they care very little about the day-to-day. They only seem to care about the financials and test scores. Day-to-day happenings, quote, day-to-day happenings are too far beneath their interest from what we have gathered. We are still looking into schools that direction, though. Thank you for your response.
Well, it sounds like you just let your daughter be the art person. Just
Yeah.
do it anyway. The
Yeah.
principal doesn't care about the day to day, then like
Mhm.
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah, there very much was like, go to an attorney.
Yeah. Sorry they suck, but
Yeah.
I hope we get an update.
Yeah, there was another comment. Are there cameras in the school? Have a lawyer subpoena the footage. Even if that's not in the principal's office, it will prove that she didn't just barge in, do it ASAP. Stuff like that.
mhm.
So yeah, lawyer up, baby. That seems
Yeah, I
like
mean,
fun.
Lawyer up and gather receipts.
Yeah, I would if someone tells you they are getting a lawyer against you, you immediately retain your own and say, "Okay, send it to them."
Would you transfer schools if you were the parent?
No.
No.
Okay, because that's one comment. So it sounds like it's time to transfer schools. Banning a parent from campus where their child attends can't happen. Legally, she needs to be able to pick up her child for sickness at school events, just as you do. Second, she may use this event as a catalyst to bully her through the rest of the school. If she were to get in the slightest bit of trouble, even if it wasn't her fault, the principal may be unnecessarily harsh. I'd be looking for a transfer personally.
I would transfer if it got to that point. But also, that's just more receipts that you can collect to gather a better case.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's a lot of if statements
It
happening
sucks
to lead to a
that
direction.
it would suck if that had to happen and the kid was subjected to that, but like you're not at that point.
No, I wouldn't fully
Lawyer
just,
up, gather receipts. That's all you need.
Okay,
I
this
wouldn't
is
just fully uproot and upend a
Yeah.
student's
this is
life.
this
That's
is maybe a
ridiculous.
funny one. Subject line. This is a comment with 300 upvotes. Subject line, apology. Dear principal, I apologize for sending out a professional email asking for permission to partake in a learning and growth opportunity. I now realize the error is all mine because I had not accounted for a completely insane, mean, manipulative, total cunt to be in the position of an educator.
Now that is
There
good.
you go.
That is hilarious.
And
There's your
said-
answer.
OP said, thank you. This is exactly how I feel. I'm like, yeah. So yeah, that was that one.
In the day and age we live in, we're screenshotting that email from the principal and we're posting it on Facebook.
Oh,
Yeah.
1000%. We're posting it on Facebook,
Calling the
Reddit,
news.
Oh,
Blue Sky.
you know what the parents should do? Gather the PTA.
Oh.
PTAs are the downfall of administrations.
Hell hath no fury like a PTA.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Be like, are any of your kids encountering this if they interact with the principal? Let's band together.
Cancel culture.
How was did you have experiences with PTAs?
Nope.
Oh.
I did.
That was way too cool.
Well,
Tea.
actually, I didn't as a teacher. I did as a student.
Oh.
Yeah, because we had the band council.
Yeah. Our
Uh,
dad was very involved.
After I graduated, I found out that the then president, because
He was treasurer.
dad was treasurer, and he still helped out every once in a while after I graduated.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Because he was just, he had relationships
he
with
just
people.
supported the arts
Yeah.
like a lot, because he was like, my kids are involved. I'm gonna be involved. Shout out Gerald.
Shout out.
But turns out that the treasurer or the vice president or the president, I can't remember which position, but like a couple years later, started embezzling funds.
Oh,
They always do.
They always do.
It always
There's always
turns
an
into being
embezzler.
embezzlement.
They always think they can get away with it.
So
Truly,
silly.
just let the money be where, like, people are paying to do certain. Anyway.
Yeah.
Your next one, Ashley.
My 28 male. This is from r/relationship advice.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Gross.
Yeah. Gross. Being in a relationship.
Love? Ew.
Nasty. All right. My 28 male husband, 27 male, just came out of straight. So we've been married for like 3 years and dated for about 2. In total, 5 years of a gay relationship. We're 2 men, have always been 2 men, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. My husband and I have had a rather healthy relationship for the most part. Of course, we've had minor arguments every now and then, but what relationship is perfect? In the end, we always resolved them, and our affection would continue as normal. I saw that.
Brendan pointed to himself and said,
Yeah, my relationship between. Perfect.
Me and the Lord.
Remember that.
We'll get into that. This is kind of why I'm really confused by what's going on with us. Why now? I am a Christian.
Oh.
I know a lot of people don't like the idea of that, but gay Christians do exist. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband was agnostic, not necessarily an atheist, but just wasn't completely on board with any religion.
Okay.
And that's fine. I would have supported him if he found peace in literally anything. He didn't need to come to become a Christian, and honestly, as selfish as this sounds, I wish he didn't. I know this makes me sound like a terrible person, but he changed so drastically afterwards, and I miss the man he used to be. It was a slow start, but he asked me about verses from the Bible. We went to church, and he even fasted for Lent. Christmas this year was much more than just presents, and I was happy that I had this piece of me to share with him now. I was raised religious and struggled with my identity. If it weren't for other queer Christians, I would have left Christianity. I was glad that I still had these things we could bond over, but it kept ramping up. All of a sudden, he was going to church more than I was, which is perfectly fine. It is starts carrying a Bible with him and would randomly cite a verse when we're having political discussions. I've noticed his views started to shift towards the right as well, and he recently retweeted somebody saying, "Your body, my choice."
Oh.
You're a twink. Women's reproductive rights don't concern you in the slightest? It kept ramping up. He started agreeing with the whole LGB minus the T crowd and started spewing harmful rhetoric about about drag queens, as if we aren't friends with a bunch of them already. When I told him that drag queens are much less likely to harm children than some pastors, he lost his shit saying I was a heathen and that his friends were right. This is the part that caught my attention. What?
That was the part?
What friends? I asked him what he meant by that, and he started backtracking, saying he was tired and that we should go to bed. I was tired, and arguing didn't seem like it'd do us any good right now, so I put a pin in it, and we got ready for bed.
Bro.
Our room has a bathroom connected, and we usually keep the door open. He takes a shower and makes sure to lock it, which was weird, but I didn't say anything about it. If he wants to set this boundary down, that's fine. But at least he could communicate it, you know? The next day is Sunday, and he's already out of bed, and I'm assuming at church. I get up and got ready, but once I arrived, I realized he wasn't there. That confused me, so after the service, I called him, asking where he was. He tells me he's in church, but I told him I was here, I was there too, and didn't see him. He clarifies he means this, he means this, the other. I'm not gonna say which denomination because I don't want to cause any harm. Oh, he's at another church. Okay.
Oh, okay.
This was news to me, especially because he never brought it up and still carried our Bible. I told him to send me the address and I'll pick him up so we can get brunch, but he tells me that he doesn't want his friends seeing me. That hurt. I asked him if we could at least meet up, and he said he'll meet me at home. After a few hours, he finally comes home. He says we need to talk. I agreed. Wanted to ask him why he didn't want his friends seeing me, and as I opened my mouth to say the question, he said, "I'm straight." I stared at him for a bit, and he continued, explaining that his church helped him realize he wasn't going to see the kingdom of God if he continued living in sin, and that he needed to leave me as soon as possible. He told them about the pastor comment I made last night, and they said that I was a devil trying to lure him away from Christ. He started repeating a lot more of the same rhetoric I heard from other Christians growing up, and it really upset me. He even said that I could be saved and that I already had the traditionally masculine look and that I just needed to steer away from homosexuality. I feel like I'm in an alternate reality right now. I'm being told by the love of my life that I'm a devil that needs to return to Christ because I shut down his homophobic rhetoric. My gay husband is being homophobic. What a sentence. I'm sorry, but not once in 5 years we've been together did he realize that he was suddenly straight. It just doesn't work like that. It's not like we're in some other universe where... What? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that term is. Yeah.
Sound it out.
Spell it.
COMPHOMO.
Comp homo?
Yeah. It's literally... Yeah.
Okay.
Comp homo is a thing. I don't know what that is. I told him that he needed to leave and that we could discuss arrangements afterwards. I still want him. I love him, but I have no idea how he could look at me with a straight face and tell
I get it.
What?
Compulsory homosexuality.
Oh. Yeah. Anyways, I still want him. I love him. I have no idea how he could look at me with a straight face and tell me all of that. He started arguing, saying that he didn't want to leave and that we could still be friends. So I told him that I wouldn't be friends with a self-hating queer for the life of me. He packed a bag and left. His location shows he's at some random house I've never been to, but I assume that's one of the churchgoers he's friends with. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do from here. Did I seriously just lose my husband? I don't understand how this could happen. What can I do? I miss him already.
Okay, wrong answer's only first.
Kill him.
Kill the husband.
I think the main wrong answer for all of these is just murder.
No, actually, different answer. Become a Satanist. And really stir the pot.
I mean, the Church of Satan honestly has some really good values.
I like how we're that person at an improv class they're like, yeah, and I guess we show up at the party at like 9, and then you're like, I pull out a gun. Like, that's your only move.
No, but I said I did a different thing.
No, I know, I was just joking because of the
No, but it's just funny. But yes. Unfortunately, I think it's not gonna happen with this guy.
That was 15 days ago, by the way.
I just don't think Here's the thing.
There is an update.
I have mad respect for people who have religion in their life. I think for a lot of people, it can bring community. I think it can bring really positive things if done in the right way. However, there are some groups, especially within Christian groups, that in order to gain following, there's a little bit of fear mongering that they do even just within the community, right? I experienced that as a kid. Where it's like, oh, you're gonna go to hell. And
Yeah,
like it's
very
scary. Like
evangelical.
what they talk about it when they talk about it, it's scary. And like the fact of the matter for me is that like fear shouldn't rule your life, cuz you have to keep living it, right? Like ultimately like you're going to keep living unless, stuff happens. So to live in a way that like fears is the primary operating mindset, I don't love that. Unfortunately, it sounds like this guy that's the situation for this guy, is that fear is kind of ruling his life. It's so much so that he's changing who he was to this new
Almost
kind of thing.
entirely. Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think for this person who wrote the post, I don't think there's much you can do, because I'm sure it's happened. Like he's having those like conversations where the fear is ruling his life a little bit, with multiple people, and it doesn't sound like you can deconstruct that fear.
You got to kidnap him and
Yeah.
and make him watch Wicked Part 1.
You're right.
Yeah.
Hold space.
Yeah, and if like by the end he doesn't get it, then like you got to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my opinion here.
Lots of comments. Top one right now is, dude, the best thing you can do is let him go. This is really a tough situation, but it's past your control. Do yourself a favor and let him leave. He's not worth it. You deserve somebody who loves you for you.
Yeah.
Which is true.
And I do agree. I do agree with the thing that he said at the top, that like queer Christians exist. They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
I don't necessarily always agree with their philosophies, but like
Sure.
that's okay.
Yeah.
They can still exist and be happy with their lives, and I'm happy for them.
What if he got a dog?
Ooh.
Get a dog.
Yeah.
Dogs can't be homophobic.
Make that dude pay alimony.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a tough situation, bro.
There's an update. You want to hear it?
If it's brief. Is it long?
It's a little lengthy, but I'll try and
Yeah,
make it
OP's a
briefer.
yapper, so it's
Yeah,
gonna
OP be
be.
yapping.
To gay and to yap is kind of like a package deal sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. I'm very verbose, and I'm also gay, so it's fine. All right. Thank you for everyone who gave me genuine advice on my last post. I'll quickly answer some common questions. No, he does not have a family history of bipolar disorder, nor does he have any other mental health disorder that would cause sharp changes. No,
Okay.
he
Other
isn't
than being a
cheating on.
twink.
Other than being
That's
a twink. No, he isn't cheating on me with one of his church friends, but I will get
You don't know.
into more of this later. No, he isn't bi. I'm bi, and we've had conversations, and he said he experimented in high school, but it wasn't for him.
Okay.
I talked to his family and our friends about the whole thing. I explained that we are separating because of his newfound faith and how he's acting. I told them about the shit he said, and they're all worried for me. I don't think I'm in any sort of danger, honestly. I didn't talk to my church about this though. And they told I did talk to people in my church about this though, and they told me that the church he's attending is notorious for this sort of thing. One of them will show up after a service and wait outside, and if someone is walking out alone, they'll come up to them and start chatting. They'll pretend they just go here until they've talked to the person enough times to invite them to the other church. Apparently, he was attending my church even on days where I wasn't, so he was alone a lot. It's really fucking predatory, and it's low-key pissing me off that it low-key pisses me off that he was enjoying my church and it led to him being taken away from me. I've limited contacted with him in the past few days. He came over last night saying he needed to talk to me. He didn't appreciate me contacting his parents and assured me that he is fine mentally. I wanted to start asking all the questions I've come up with since he left, but I didn't want to overwhelm him. I know he didn't cheat on me because that was the first question I asked. More so, I asked, "Are you leaving me because there's somebody else?" His response was that he didn't want to leave me, but living in sin wasn't what he wanted anymore. How did he figure this out, you ask? After grilling him for an explanation, he finally admitted that he tried to cheat. The guy who kept coming to my church and basically recruited him was apparently so attractive that he would listen to anything he said. So he tried to cheat, failed, and went into the full 180. and has decided being gay is the ultimate sin.
Oh.
Not the fact that he tried to have an affair. This is actually going to drive me crazy.
So he just did it out of shame. Great.
So
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Out of
Embarrassing.
possible adultery.
Do you really want to be with this person
No.
then? If, like, I wouldn't
No.
even want to be with this person if they attempted to cheat. So,
Yep.
Finding out he wanted to cheat but didn't is almost worst because, like, seriously, you tried and got rejected? That's embarrassing as shit for you and
Okay.
and doubly embarrassing for me. I asked him if they knew he was married to a man, and he simply told them I was his gay roommate who turned him. And now that he's straight again, I've gone off the deep end. He's an actual fucking liar. He showed me some Bible verses, one that were just blatantly different from the ones in my Bible, and kept trying to convince me that I need to change too. He said that he still cares about me and wants to be friends. I asked him what about our actual friends, and he said they're too far gone. He just kept talking and I was done with it. He isn't the man I fell in love with and it pisses me off. He wasn't even dressing the same anymore. Fucking white dress shirts and slacks and the most boring hairstyle ever. He didn't even look like my Anthony. The more he talked to me, the more it was clear I didn't want to be with the man he is now. He left, and for the second time in our life, he walked out that door without saying I love you, and I was fine with that. This morning I talked with my lawyer and am going through a divorce.
good.
After I was done, I stopped by where he was staying and knocked on the door, half wanting whoever owned the place to be there when I gave him the papers, half because I didn't want him coming to my home anymore. When the man opened the door, I realized this is who he was talking about, and it took a bit to keep my anger in. I asked for my husband, and when he saw me, the look in his eyes made it clear he wasn't expecting this out of me. I made it clear and the other guy that I was handing my husband, gay husband, divorce papers to end our marriage. The gay one between two men. Us were those two men, because I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you wake up next to a man for 3 years out of your life, chances are you are homosexual. So sorry to break it to you. Won't be able to go into more details about proceedings themselves. I'm going to completely distance myself from him as best I can. His actions have been horrible on my health, and and his family and friends can handle him better than I can. I'm going to miss the man he used to be, but I have my people surrounding me. I'm going to be okay. I hope for his sake he'll snap out of it one day, because his self-hatred isn't healthy. But when he does, I won't be fucking there.
Yeah.
Bro thinks the internet's a place to publish a memoir, and I
Yeah.
need him to chill.
Like, there are places, but, like, not this.
Not this.
There's
This is too
also other
long.
posts.
Also, not him erasing his own bisexuality.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
But hey, he's getting divorced. It's like, hey, I'm getting a divorce. I made it very clear to
Yeah.
the guy.
This guy also posted, like, several days later, in another subreddit, titled, it's just a rant that just says I miss him, and then another one that says r/ask men advice. What did you do dating wise after a divorce? So it looks like he's wanting to get
Okay.
back into the saddle, but I don't know. That was 6 days ago, and the update was 10 days ago. I think that's a bit quick.
I mean,
But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
You can go back into the dating
Only he
scene
can
whenever.
decide.
Yeah.
true. Do we want one or two more?
We can skip mine. It's
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to hear about this expensive
Was I
gift?
too long? I'm sorry.
Yeah, a
It's
little.
okay.
It's okay. It was just long. It's not your fault. It's the fact that he's a yapper. This is short.
This is
This is short. This is my wife gave me a really expensive birthday gift I don't want. We're on a shoestring budget and the gift can't be returned.
Okay.
My wife ordered a big inflatable hot tub for my birthday and I don't want any
Hell
part of
yeah.
it.
I already support her.
Yeah.
She's correct, actually.
Mhm.
He's wrong.
I'm Mr. Fix-It around the house. Our lives are complicated by all modern conveniences of suburban life. Essentially, I don't see it as a gift. I see it as one more thing I have to maintain. This feels more like a gift she wants for herself, which is fine. I would be fine giving it to her. I'd still be maintaining it, but I'm not owning something I don't want. Further, I've been unemployed for a long time, and we're on reduced income while my wife is on maternity leave. I think for all the pep talks about how, quote, we gotta save everything, quote, I'm feeling a bit pissed by the price and the fact that the item is non-refundable. She keeps buying more shit for the thing too. I want to say I appreciate the thought, but I'd like to sell this and buy myself something I really want. But the reality is, it's an item with a small market and there's a risk of it sitting for months while waiting for the right buyer. Do I say something, or do I just move on, reframe the situation as a blessing, and enjoy it with my wife?
That one.
The second one.
Yeah.
Now you can have conversations about
Hot
how we
tubs
don't
are
need to buy
great.
more, but
Hot tubs are great gifts.
Mm-hmm.
You're just being an ass.
Yep.
you can't return it.
Also, your wife's on maternity leave. I'm sure this gift was probably partially for her because she's pregnant or she already
Pregante.
had the baby. And guess what? Women deserve to relax because we birth humans sometimes.
Why isn't Mr. Handyman on TaskRabbit?
That's what I'm
Get
saying.
a job.
Yeah, the fact that he said I'm unemployed, I've been unemployed for a while.
It's hard out here right now
And
to get a
I'm-
job,
Yeah, but it's
but
like
like you could do something.
he's.
Yeah.
It's funny that like he's looking a gift horse in the mouth, while he's unemployed and his wife is the breadwinner. That's kind of wild.
And he said he wanted to sell it to buy something he actually wants,
Mm-hmm.
not to pay bills, not to
Yeah.
do other things.
Yeah.
But he wants a trampoline.
Oh my god, a trampoline though.
Pretty fun.
But I will say it's very similar to how Ashley and I have conversations sometimes where she's like, "Oh, I want to buy this," and I'm like, "I don't see any value in it, but hey, it's your money.
Mhm.
Do with it what you want."
Yeah. And Rachel will sometimes do the same thing.
And that's why she's not invited to the hot tub.
We don't have a hot dog.
I'm going to get a cute little translucent garden shed and put my inflatable hot tub in there. And then
Why
during
is the garden shed translucent?
well, it's like it's got like the plastic like frosted,
Right, but why does it have to be translucent?
Because it'd be fun. And also, I want it to be like a little garden shed so that way in the off season I can put plants in there.
She wants
Oh.
to experience the direct effect of greenhouse gases.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
I get
farting
it.
up a storm.
I get it.
So there's 2 updates. They're very short. And they're in response to comments. Because comments
Or
are
just saying you're being an
things like,
asshole.
how is this problem going to be fixed if you don't talk about it? That's like the first big comment.
Did somebody just say you're being an ass to your pregnant wife?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm looking through the
What if she
like,
wants to have a
main
home birth?
comments.
It'd be fun.
That, see, multiple uses.
I don't think you can do it in a hot
You
tub.
can do it in.
No, you can do it in the hot tub, but I don't think it should be hot when you give birth.
Yeah, you should probably put a plastic lining.
Right.
I
around
think it should be like room temperature.
Yeah.
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 It can't be like hot.
It's comfortable, but it's not.
But multiple, you just turn off the heat.
Imagine boiling your baby though on accident because you
Okay.
forgot.
There's a big yellow
Crazy.
box comment. What
Big
is it in
what?
reference? Like a yellow box comment? It's like it has like a special
Lots of awards
rewards.
on Reddit because people spend karma or whatever.
There's something about I think there is something about water births in here.
Then it has utility.
Yeah.
Then the man can be like, "Oh yes, of course."
Well,
my
and it
water
also
birth.
can have sentimental value of like you were birthed in here.
Yeah.
To the kid.
I
There's
just imagine like coming home from school one day and your mom just sitting in the hot tub and she's like drinking champagne or something, and the kid's
You
like,
were birthed
"Mom,
in
what are
here?"
you doing?" And she's like,
Sitting
"Think about when you were born.
born.
Just think about it."
There was a TikTok of some chick. I think she was Mormon. Regardless, she was preparing for a home birth, and she's like, "Yep, this is the pool that I birthed my first son in." And I'm all like, "Cool."
I saw one where like the woman was giving birth at home and the other kid, like the other older kids were in the room.
Yeah.
And I mean, they're like 4 or 5 or whatever. And people were like, "Why is your child in the room?" And I'm like, "Cause it's just giving birth.
It's just a family moment.
It's fine.
people
Your kid can know about it.
there's some
It's
people who are
cool."
like sell it on Facebook or eBay.
No.
There's
No.
some comments that are just like, please start with like a conversation of gratitude. But here's the update. Thanks for the advice.
Wait, the update is, guys, I tried it. I get it.
No.
I understand hot
He's
tubs now.
fully in now.
He's in the hot tub posting.
I think you're gonna laugh at this. Thanks for the advice, y'all. Some people here are ice cold money hustlers. Quote, he's like quoting a comment. You little broke shrimp dick dirtbag, no job ass bum bitch. Whoa, just put the fries in the bag, man. I think I can speak for me when I say being jobless is a mindfuck, but I can also say that being a stay-at-home dad in the meantime has been goddamn great.
Good for him.
I don't know what this guy is about.
What is your point?
I don't know. Here's update 2.
He's like being unemployed sucks, but like also there are some pluses to being a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is true.
Great.
Good
He's
for you.
commenting.
The hot tub's wet. Like, I don't, what do you,
Yeah.
He's commenting on the commenters who are like, some commenters are like, you little broke shrimp dick dirtbag.
Such a
right.
funny
But it's
post.
just like, he's like, yeah, maybe that's true. But you know what? Being a dad's cool.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
for you. Yeah.
great.
Awesome.
So is a hot tub.
Love you. Thank you.
Here's the second update.
Okay.
The joke, just put the fries in the bag, man, has unexpectedly become a divisive point. Either you get the reference or you think I'm intentionally displaying disdain for fast food workers. I've done a lot of living and worked every type of job. There's no shame in working. However, there is shame in exploiting workers, which I've also experienced lots of times.
Huh?
This guy, I don't know what he's on.
Is he just commenting on his comment
He
about
needs-
putting the fries in the bag? It's not that deep.
He
If
needs
people
to do
are getting all
something.
pissed about that, then you don't need to go back on Reddit and correct yourself.
Yeah.
He needs a hobby.
He needs
And by that, I mean like a paying one.
A
Called a
job.
job.
We are. Brandon, I didn't know you
If
had
he's a
Reddit.
fixer-upper, why doesn't he just work at Ace Hardware?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm just saying, Brandon, I didn't know you had a Reddit account where you called him a little shrimp dick.
I would.
I want to read
Jobless.
I want you to read yours.
No.
Do we have enough time?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to, is the answer.
Okay,
it's
that's
fine.
fine.
But yeah, those are advices.
We did it. We gave advice.
My God, like vices. Oh my God, advices. Crazy. Anyway, that's a show.
Vice City,
Just
GTA.
Reddit. Cool.
He's like,
Moving
yeah.
on. But now it's time to roll for wrap up. Okay, so for those of you who are joining us for the first time, thank you so much for joining us. This is a show where we roll for wrap up because it's chat roulette. It's a little bit of a roulette kind of situation. We first roll to see who wraps us up and how, and then we roll a 20-sided dice to see which topic is next week's topic. To be fair, we have rolled the picnic cast a few times, but it's been kind of cold.
It snowed the other day.
It snowed.
I'm not going to picnic in the snow.
Yeah, like maybe in
That's
a month.
just bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in a month we'll do a picnic cast. But at the present moment, no picnic cast. But it's on the table. Don't worry. We will
When we can, we
prioritize.
will.
But anyway, who's wrapping us up?
It's me.
Ashley.
And you're
I'm
doing.
doing-
She's recommending or plugging something.
What's your plug?
Go visit Iceland.
There you go.
It's really cool in my dreams. I'm sure it's even better in real life.
Love it.
All right.
All right,
7.
7.
7 is what we roll. Played fantasy gameplay draft picks. We do a draft on our favorite fantasy stuff, whether it's like we do,
D&D
like,
classes or
Yeah.
like Final Fantasy characters.
Okay.
or like level spells.
We can do it.
Yeah, we can do that. That's easy.
We're coming in with hot takes.
Yeah.
And even hotter? No, not wings.
Oh, if
Ugh,
only.
can we have some hot wings? Will we do draft picks?
I mean,
A little beer?
what y'all show up with is what y'all show up with.
Hell yeah.
And if it's buffalo chicken, Brandon's not
Maybe
gonna
I,
say
maybe
no.
I have a taste.
Maybe I have a little.
Maybe I try it a little bit.
And then I go,
Yeah.
And it is going.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our show, friends. Thanks for joining us. Ilio, which
See
is
you next
my
week.
way of saying I love you. Have a good day. I'll see you next week.
bye.
Bye.